All right. We are live here. This is the show where Ohio throws down. Ohio is on fire. And we have an historic night going for us. For the last month, I've been hosting a little concept called the Dayton Indie Music Madness 2014. It's the first time we've done something like this on the radio. And a lot of the artists, including three of the finalists, they're here in the studio with me now. And their mics are on. We got Faith Baby.
What's going on?
Yes, and then we got Joebin.
Hey.
And then we got Nicole Richter from the band Curse of Cassandra.
Hi, what's up?
And also we'll talk to him a little bit, but Seth Bowman from the group Skaptimistic, he is here. His group was in 5th place, so they had a strong showing. All right, but yes, once again, this is Ohio is on Fire, to show where Ohio throws down. I am Daniel Diesel, your one and only host. So anyway, but this has been a good night. And at 8:30, voting for the championship round for Dayton Indie Music Madness will come to an end. And so that's like, you got like another 22 minutes if you want to vote for your favorite now. And once again, the winning artist, they will win $300 cash prize, and they will win a golden frame certificate to remember that they won this contest, because money doesn't last, but a certificate lasts forever. All right. So with that, once again, I got Faith Baby. Actually, I'm sorry, Melvin Robinson, a.k.a. Faith Baby. It's a long name. Joebin and Nicole Richter, and we'll talk to them for a little bit. But yeah, well, hello, guys.
Hi.
Oh, great. So anyway, I want to ask Joebin something. Now, I noticed you do a lot of acoustic music. Who's your favorite songwriter and singer?
Actually, Tim O'Brien. He's a Irish type of like folk singer.
Yeah.
He wrote a lot of like folky type bluegrass songs, and I generally aim toward folk music. It's always been kind of my passion. I grew up on it because my dad listens to a lot of bluegrass.
Okay.
The other one would probably be Dave Matthews. Actually, it's where I kind of get the rock edge too.
All right.
Music.
Now, what's your favorite place to play at in the Dayton area?
Actually, I played a lot at the Underground in Cincinnati,
okay.
but, which is more towards Cincinnati, obviously. But in Dayton area, I generally play a lot of coffee shops around the area, mostly in the Middletown area, like Kid Coffee, Java Johnny's, places like that.
Okay. Now that I know, your song in this tournament called Innocence and Pride. Is there a certain specific meaning to that song towards anyone?
Actually, the song was written for an organization called A Voice for the Innocent.
Okay.
The president of the organization, Jamie Cybris, contacted me a couple summers ago, and he said, hey, I'm putting together this compilation record of all these artists in the Cincinnati-Dayton area, and we want to make songs for sex abuse victims.
Okay. So
he told me his story, and what had happened to him as a kid, and I took all of that emotion, and I was able to create a song in under an hour, and I sent him a quick voice text of the melody and the guitar part, and he loved it.
Yeah.
So they actually sent me into the studio to record it for them, and it's on their compilation record. So it's a really cool organization. They raise awareness for sex abuse victims and rape victims, because it's a way, way bigger crime than people realize. Oh, well, yeah,
that's a good story, man. All right, now I want to talk to Faith Baby for a minute, but welcome. I want to know, when did you start rapping? Like, I know a lot of rappers, they like start when they're like 7. It's something they've always wanted to do. Like, when did you get into the rapping game?
Honestly, it was like right at the end of my high school career there, and I honestly met a group called LOM, and I met this guy, Lil Kirk, and he pretty much taught me the format of rapping. And then once I got sent into the Army, I did 2 years down in Fort Hood, Texas, and I actually perfected my own style and made my own voice.
Okay.
So like that's kind of what you guys are hearing now, and like I honestly just started off singing. I was singing in my grandma's van, singing in the choir, singing in the show choir at Fairmont High School. Honestly, like that was just like a second thing, and dance is probably more important than rap to me.
All right. Well, I want to ask you, I know in hip-hop, I know people, they like to brag about their label, because you're independent right now, but is there a certain label like Def Jam or Murder Inc. or any other label that you prefer, like on the radio, that you may like to work for one day?
Honestly, it would just be somebody who can understand my family.
Okay.
Family is very important to me. Like music is, one of the loves of my life, but my family is by far destroying that. But so if they could, cope with that, and my family could come with me, that's one of my big things. Like my manager, Arlene, she is awesome. She's very understanding about everything. I just had a baby, so she knows I'm not going to be doing shows right now.
Oh, I understand.
So yeah, I mean, just a family-oriented label more than anything.
Okay, now about your song "Ready Go Down," was that song dedicated to somebody?
No, it's honestly just a genre filler. I do sing and I do rap, so I wanted to have an R&B hip hop song that was edited and a little risky, but not too risky, so everybody could listen to it. You know, on my mixtape, I do have another song, but it's a little more explicit.
Oh, absolutely. Now, boy, who did the music for "Ready Go Down"? I know you did the lyrics, but
it was a beat from Vibe Productions. It's a good group off SoundClick.com. You get stuff, honestly, you can find anything on there, but you do have to pay for them, and it's free if you just want to do it for a demo or things like that. If you're making profit off it, you do have to buy it.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, we'll get back to you in just a little bit, but now we got Nicole Richter. She is from the band Curse of Cassandra. She's 1/4 of Curse of Cassandra, and she told me the other members will try to be here for the announcement at 8:30. But anyway, Nicole Richter, I gotta ask you, do you what's a good place to listen to live electric dance music in the Dayton area? Because I know, from my understanding, it's a small.
Show.
What's that?
A Curse of Cassandra show.
Okay, what venue exactly?
Well, it's true that there's not a lot of electronic music in Dayton, but we've played Oregon Express, Jimmy's Ladder, the old Yellow Cab building. There's some events there that are good for community art collaboration type events. So there are a lot of good venues to listen to electronic music, even if there aren't a lot of electronic bands in Dayton.
Oh, that's fine. Now, I noticed looking at your pictures online, you guys have a unique design and makeup. Does anyone make your designs for you? Any person in particular?
Yeah, Alexis Machine, the lead singer of the band, she works on a lot of the design stuff, and then we'll collaborate with her on that. So the main image is a collaboration of Asher Black and Alexis, and they put it together. And then the makeup and stuff is, a lot of it is my ideas as well as Alexis's my ideas.
Well, cool beans. Now, Alexis, is she the lead singer on the bindings?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Also, there's an interesting note about you. You are an associate professor here on campus. You are a teacher for the motion pictures. So have you been telling your students about you being in this contest?
Yeah, my students know about this contest, and a lot of them voted for us. So
all right.
Thank you, Wright State students.
Yes, good job, Wright State students. Okay, well, this is a question for all of you. What's been the overall experience in voting? Like, this has lasted like a whole month. Did you guys, were you guys nervous at first, or have you? Is there something that's been overwhelmingly positive about this whole tournament?
Oh yeah, it's been really positive. We got to know a lot of the other musical genres in Dayton, and a lot of bands that we wouldn't have learned about any other way. So it was really good for that reason.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and just to see out of the people you have, like on your social site, to see who will support you, how much support you really do have, how much more work you need to do. And it just elevated your status. So I know we're all on Reverb Nation, so it elevated our status highly. I know it did mine, and definitely Joebin's, and I'm sure Curse of Cassandra, and they're already #1, so I'm sure they can't get any higher. But
we get higher nationally and globally.
Right.
Well, maybe. All right. Well, yeah. Once again, someone's going to win this tournament, and of course, the grand prize is $300 cash money. Of course, the golden certificate, and I don't know if you guys have an answer for this. If you guys, what would you do with $300 if you were to win it tonight? This is for any one of you. What would you do with $300?
I would buy a sub for my bass.
Sub for your bass.
I would actually start working on my next EP, because I plan to release my next EP online for free.
Nice.
To anyone who wants it.
And honestly, I just had a baby, as I said, so I would probably get the rest of my son's needs.
Well, that's a good idea. All right. We got a message from Mac Perry from Agni in the Garden. He wanted me to read this on the air, so he did leave us a personal message. But good evening, Daniel Diesel and my friends and fellow contestants. I apologize for not being able to attend this most excellent occurrence indeed. It was an honor to be played alongside all the great artists involved in the contest. And Dan, you are correct. Agni in the Garden is an alternative rock indie band. I need to point out every track except for the re-release of Aegis was done by me completely. There were no other contributed artists except for that one track. track. Agony has had other band members in the past. None of them were afforded time to be able to record or write with me. Unfortunately, as all the prior band members of Agony were located out of the state or country, they themselves were busy with other tasks and other projects. But thank you, Daniel, for having Agony on your show and in the tournament. And thank you for all of you sharing your art with the world. Congratulations again to each and every one of you. So that's Mac Perry. All right. So thank you, Mac Perry, for that. Now let's get to the results. All right. Drum roll. I'll go in order from 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. I'm excited. Let's see. All right. Let me turn the mics on for everybody. My mic was... All right. Trying to add one more... Okay, in 4th place. Curse of Cassandra with Binding. Woo! With 57 votes. All right. In 3rd place, with 131 votes, Innocence and Pride by Joebin. So congratulations. All right, so the top 2 was Wayward One and Ready to Go Down. So, with that, I will announce the winner, who had the most votes. The winner of the first ever Dayton Indie Music Madness Championship Tournament is Melvin Robinson, a.k.a. Faith Baby, with his song Ready to Go Down. Yeah. He had a total votes of 239, with the most votes in the championship, so that makes him the champion. You are amazing. And, of course, 2nd place, Wayward One had 145 votes. So come here. I want you to come over here, Melvin. Melvin, yeah, come up here.
Over there?
Yes, next to me. I gotta give you. You won your prize.
I'm going.
You're a champion.
Get the money.
All right. Okay. I'm trying to get the mic up here. All right. I'll try not. I don't want dead silence on the air because I gotta get this prize for him. But first off, here's your certificate. What it is? I got you a gold plaque, and you can put this certificate in the plaque when you get home. So that's for you. And of course, you got a backup one just in case you lose the other one. And definitely, and I counted, so it's all here. $300 cash. This is for you, all for you. So it's all in there, I promise. Now don't spend it all in one place.
Oh, I definitely won't.
Yeah, right.
I won't spend it all, I promise.
Yes, and it's awesome.
My
yes.
baby might know.
Okay. All right, so once again, Melvin Robertson, he is the first ever champion of Dayton Indie Music Madness. He won a golden certificate and $300 cash. Unbelievable. So what we're going to do, we're going to let him, I'm going to give him a few minutes to calm down because he's doing, you can't see him, but he's doing backflips. It's like winning the Super Bowl. So we're going to play 2 more songs. And he wants to give a speech when we come back. So we'll collect our thoughts. All right, and we are back with Ohio's on Fire. They're doing a selfie right now. It's amazing. The Dayton Indie Music Madness selfie. I love it. All right.
Take a selfie.
Okay. Well, first off, yes. If you missed it, the champion of the Dayton Indie Music Madness tournament is Melvin Robertson, aka Faith Baby. So listen, he has something he wants to get off his chest about winning the contest. But let me ask you something. How does it feel being the champion of this tournament, Faith Baby?
Honestly, it's just a great opportunity to be in this tournament, period. It was a great experience for all of us, and I'm sure everybody would agree. We got to meet up with different artists. We got to hear a lot of different genres. There was, 24 different groups. That's, a lot of people, a lot of fans. So, of course, you're going to get a chance to build your career as well as listen to others and help them build theirs.
Okay. Now, is there anyone that you can recollect that voted for you for this tournament that you could shout out right now?
Oh, man.
Do the best you can. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, honestly, my girlfriend Samantha O'Neill, her mother and her sister, they put in so much work for me. And my buddy Doug Simpson, he was on. He would literally stay up all night with me, and we would get at it and just see who was up, who would help. And
I noticed.
Yeah. But honestly, it was everybody, that was really a supporter, and I appreciate that. And me and Joebin were talking about it. You actually got to see who your real supporters were and who your real friends were. So it was a good experience and a good eye opener.
Okay. Now, I gotta ask. You did the music for this year, the Ready to Go Down. Do you plan on making any albums later this year?
Yeah,
like
actually,
any work?
right now, I have a mixtape getting mixed down by DJ Nate Toyas. He's pretty much the primary DJ at Club Vex.
Okay.
It's called Dope Music Volume 1. It's my very first solo mixtape, pretty much my very first mixtape at all that it's actually going to get pushed out. I had the cover art done by C.O. Picasso.
Okay.
He also does Monstar Magazine. I'll also be in that. That drops May 19th. I'll also be in that, along with Little Kirk and a lot of other artists dropping their mixtapes in that month.
All right. Well, I got one more question. Are you going to Disney World?
You know what? I was going to do that,
yeah.
But then I was like, you know, I can't really afford that. So, you know, I'd rather just go to Chuck E. Cheese and have a pizza with my son.
Yes, so you can buy some pizzas. Well, maybe in future tournaments we can get enough money to get you all to Disney World.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So but anyway, congratulations to you.
I'm trying to get a show with all of us doing a tour together for this tournament.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? Yeah. And like we're just
at least just one big show.
And we are back on the air. This is a show where Ohio throws down. It's Ohio is on Fire. I'm Daniel Diesel. Now I'm here with many of the acts from the Dayton Indie Music Madness. I am so excited. I can't even tell you. Chris got 3/4 of Curse of Cassandra, Joebin, and the world champion of Dayton Music, Melvin Robinson. He just pointed at me. Of course, Seth Bowman. He's from Skaptimistic. Really cool band. Of course, they almost got to the Final Four. I should share one story because we're going to share some stories of what happened throughout this past month. Well, in the last hour, actually, Skaptimistic was in 4th place. And then Curse of Cassandra, like a raging horse, they came and surpassed him. So, but yeah, so it was. Yes, she made the horse noise. So Skaptimistic is in 5th place. But once again, yes, we had 24 artists, and I'll tell you my rationale for taking in all these artists. For one, I've never done a tournament like this before. I was looking at Reverb Nation is a really good website to find independent music. It reminds me of the old MySpace where you could look up people by state and region. They don't do that anymore because they got a new ownership. But Reverb Nation has taken that place, and that helped me find all of you guys in here today. And I wanted something that I got most of it right. There were a few that I wanted bands that had released music within the last 2 years. So I guess that's all of you guys. And I got most of it right. So I'm proud of myself that I was able to get people that were current. Only one that I kind of screwed up on that he corrected me was Sleepy Joe Lee. I really like his stuff, but I guess he last made stuff in 2010. So I'll consider him for future tournaments. And the thing about that, while there's hundreds of good bands in this area, and so not anyone that got slighted, I don't think less of you, or just not everyone could get in. Just like real tournaments in sports, not everyone can get in. But I want to ask you guys in here, what are some bands that were missing from the tournament that you want to give a shout out to that perhaps could be a threat in future tournaments? Any scrubs?
Yeah.
Not scrubs. I mean snubs. Snubs. I mean.
A Shade of Red.
Shade of
Killed
Red.
by Art. Those are some awesome local bands that we really like to support.
Definitely Lil Kirk, Young Heat.
Yeah.
These are just more local rap artists. You know, C.O. Picasso, C-Ray, Tay Nitty. I mean, Jason DBKS. There's a lot of people that are in different areas which people are kind of honestly afraid of.
All right.
And if you go to those shows and actually see that environment, yeah, some people act out, but all in all, it's great music. It's a great time, and you actually hear the lyricists and the poetic, music of hip hop.
Yeah.
So they just definitely need to be in it sometime.
All right.
A few bands that are in like kind of the Cincinnati Dayton area that play around is My Brother's Keeper. They're like a bluegrass folk band. They're incredible. And Josh Powell and the Great Train Robbery. They're incredible. They blow me away every time I hear any of their new music. They have a new album like every year, and I get really excited.
Okay.
But yeah, I think they probably would have rocked this competition. I would not have been in the Final Four if they had been here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd like to give one other shout out. I don't know if I can't remember if they were in the competition, but Evil Eye Gypsy, great band.
I don't think they were, but okay. Well, those are shout outs to bands that didn't quite make it, but they can make it maybe next year. I have a few shout outs myself. Of course, the Speaking Sons, which I talked to them a few weeks ago, they're really good. And I actually forgot about them. I forgot about them when I was considering this tournament. I don't know how I did that, but like I said, I'll do some about next year. And also another band that could be a major threat, which they haven't made any music since like 2011. But Hawthorne Heights, if they were to ever be on this tournament, I think they'd be a huge threat because they got fans all over the world, and they are an independent act.
Be fair.
It almost wouldn't be fair. So I'll have to think about them. But a shout out to them. They're one of the best bands in Dayton of any genre, of any era. So anyway, and also who else do I like? He's been a big supporter of this group page, but Clark McAllister, he does country music, a lot of acoustic stuff, and that, and I guess in the country community of Dayton. So shout out to him. He's been a big supporter of this tournament. And you can check him out on Reverb Nation. Yeah, that's Clark McAllister. I think it's CLRAKE. I think there's an E at the end of Clark. So just so, not a lot of people have E at the end of their. If your name is Clark, so just want to point that out. Just want to point that out to anyone that looks his name up. And who else am I missing? I guess the story changes. Of course, one of the members is actually also with Hawthorne Heights. The story changes. And a shout out to Red Hot Rebellion. And also another shout out to a band I like. They haven't done music in a while. Vanity Theft. They're really good. I heard they are working on an album this year, so they could make it in. Like I said, I need a bigger tournament, so I'm going to try to get all of y'all in next year somehow. If you make new, because it's got to be within a year. I'm thinking within the 1 year time frame, like from now until March 2015. So we'll see how it plays out. Now we got to discuss some drama that took place on the yes. I will keep these guys. There was a few individuals who I'll keep private. I guess it's mostly directed towards Melvin Robinson.
Yeah.
Well, the first complaint was that someone complained that you had released the song multiple times, which you were accused of violating, I guess, the rule of release an old song. And I guess what you had done is you were testing the sound. Like before this tournament started, that Ready to Go Down song, you'd released one version. I guess you took that. It was like March 10th, you had released it.
And then I just took the ad-lib, I didn't like the way it sounded, and then I just pretty much changed the ad-libs, which are pretty much the things in the background.
Yeah.
Just like the yes and the, I ams and all that stuff like that. Nothing major. It was still the exact same song, and I had it still posted before.
Absolutely, yeah. So you didn't cheat on that part. And what I meant by that rule is that if you had came out 2 years later, like if you within like a few days, like the issue with Melvin, it was okay. It wasn't cheating. It wasn't an old song. Like an old song, I meant like after the time frame of the date that I was looking for. And now another issue. Someone complained about a few of my rules that I had in place. Like I said, I won't mention her on the air, but whatever. I feel like I believe this tournament has finally arrived. When someone complains, they have so much passion about what went wrong with the tournament, or they think what went wrong. I think I've made it. So this tournament's going someplace. But yeah, and Melvin Robinson got called out for cheating. No, he didn't cheat. I promise he didn't cheat any of my rules. So he's the legit champion. And of course, the artists, all 24 artists, they had the freedom to promote their work any way they pleased. And some, of course, are on tour. They probably didn't have time to tell people to vote for them. Doesn't take away the fact that they're good bands or artists just because they didn't get the votes that perhaps they thought they could have gotten. Of course, I think everyone that was in the Final Four took the initiative to tell people, hey, vote for me. I want to win this money. So, yes, I think everything went out fairly. Everything was fair and even. And Melvin Robinson won fair and square. So, what other issues? Yes, voting issues. We discovered halfway through that people, when we would share our Facebook, like the post for my voting post, people would vote for that alternative post, like on their social page. I know this was an issue with Ashley Martin, which I helped. On technicality, I did help her go to the second round because a lot of her fans was going to vote for her. And of course, we fixed that problem mostly. I figured out that the comments of the music and the artists, they don't go along when you share the post. So that's something I have to remember for next year if I do Facebook again. You have to go to the actual Dayton Indie Music Madness page. So I do believe that was fixed for the finals. And so once again, we were clean and even on that end. Now, some good news. We were talking before the show. We might do a concert this fall. So, guys, talk about your early ideas for this concert.
Well,
anybody?
Well, what we're going to do is try to get everybody from the tournament, whether it be the finalists or, whoever would like to perform,
Yeah.
And then we were going to perform for free. and do it for you guys, and just get it going, just to help promote this competition and tournament, because we do believe that it is a great thing, and I'm sure everybody else could elaborate further on that.
Yes, and all 24 artists would be invited, and I guess you guys would work on a venue. Like we'll talk to UAB about because they like to help events that are related to DaySU. Of course, this would be related to DaySU. I think it's great. I would love to see a concert featuring as many of the 24 acts as possible, and maybe like a day or 2 day long marathon concert, kind of like Woodstock.
Yeah.
This would be like Dayton Stock. There you go. This would be Dayton Indie Music Madness, aka Dayton Stock. So I like that. So hopefully we can get some going this September when all the kids and college students come back from vacation. Now, is there anything? I think, we're about to wrap it up with you guys. Is there anything you want to add? Like any work you have coming out this summer? Like that? Any tour dates?
Yeah, we actually we're planning a tour, but we have an album coming out. We're going to be producing it in July, and this is for Curse of Cassandra. And
now this album will be newer compared to the album that I used for the song in this tournament.
Yes, yeah, that was a 4-track EP we released, and the new album is a 10-song album. And if you know who the Dresden Dolls are, we're working with the producer of the Dresden Dolls, so we'll be producing it with him in July. It'll be released in August.
Okay, well, good luck with that, man.
And yeah, we also have some really cool shows coming up. We're going to do Sideshow 9. We're also going to do a steampunk event at the, I think it's May 24th or 25th, but check out our Facebook page. If you're into steampunk, come check that out. We're also playing a goth prom in Cincinnati, so if you're into goth prom, come at the dock.
Absolutely. All right.
And Blind Bob's.
Blind Bob's, absolutely. Anything else?
I am Joebin. I am planning on doing an EP over the summer again that I do want to release for free online. It'll probably be about a 4-song EP.
Okay.
Actually, this coming Saturday, I'll be playing at the 86 Club down in Cincinnati. That is $10 pre-sale, $15 if you show up at the door. It's going to be 15 bands. It's their 3-year anniversary as a music venue, which is going to be really cool, featuring bands like My Brother's Keeper and Mother Folk. So, yeah, definitely come and check that out if you get a chance. And I want to thank everybody who helped support me for this. This has been really awesome, and thank you for having us, Dan.
Oh, you're welcome. What venue was having a 3-year anniversary? What was it again?
The 86 Club. That's down on Vine Street in Cincinnati, right by Bogart's.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're in the Cincinnati area, go check that out. It sounds fun. All right, and then Melvin has something to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to, again, thank everybody. And I forgot to shout out my man D2, IME Music. I can't forget him. He helped me do all this too as well. And I just want to shout out my kids, Amir, Traven, Leihani, and Braden. This is for them. I do all my music for them, and I'm just glad that Daddy can make y'all proud.
All right. Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, thank you once again. So, yes, we'll have to do this again some other time. But, yes, that's the conclusion of Dayton Indie Music Madness 2014. Of course, you can relive their music. It's on the internet. So even though this tournament's over, you can support. You can go Reverb Nation is a good website. You can visit all these artists. And when I come back, I'm actually going to do a special OMVP where I talk about artists in the local area. It is now time for everyone's favorite segment. I didn't forget about it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's everyone's favorite segment. It is time for OMVP. That stands for Ohio's Most Valuable Pedestrian. Ooh, where's my music? Yes, here it comes. There we go. Yes, OMVP. Ohio's Most Valuable Pedestrian. Now, this is not a real... Now, unlike the real award I gave to Melvin Robinson, a.k.a. Faith Baby, that was real. This is a fake award. I give you a pat on the back for this award, but nothing else, so with that, yeah, it's the award that's not really an award. It gives us either a person or a group of people that did something very interesting or weird in a good way. If you're familiar with OMVP, you know the drill. So, but tonight, it's not going to go to just one person. In fact, it's not going to go to just, it's going to go, let's say it's going to go to a lot of people. And when I mean a lot of people, I mean all the artists of Dayton Indie Music Madness 2014. Because this truly has been a special moment. This is one of the biggest audiences I've ever had while doing this show. So thank you once again. I don't know, we'll have to check the numbers afterwards, but this has been really big for me and the station. But I will give a shout out to every artist that I included in the tournament. I'll do the best I can to not leave anyone out. But that includes artists and bandmates of the bands I had in the tournament. But you guys, all of you are OMVPs. So let's start out with Abel Danger. We have Ben Willis, Nikki Luttrell, Jason Winter, and Chris Stewart. Okay, now from Blue Moon Soup, I want to shout out to Joe Bauman, Robbie Marion, Brandon Moore, and Justin Moon. So I guess they got the moon from Justin Moon. Now I know the secret. So shout out to them. And also we got Agony in the Garden, the one-man rock band, Mac Perry. He was in the Final Four. He finished second place, and he gave a nice little message for us to read. So shout out to him. He is listening. And then Ashley Martin, the country music vixen, if you will. I don't know if I should call her a vixen. And actually today is her birthday, so happy birthday to Ashley Martin. And then we got Brandy Danielle, the female hip-hop artist coming out of Dayton, Ohio. Curse of Cassandra, of course, Curse of Cassandra. It features, of course, Nikki, Nicole Richter. Then we had Jake. Then we had Ryan Ended, and then we had Jill Dotson. So all four members, Curse of Cassandra. Then we have Melvin Robinson, aka Faith Baby. He is the champion of Dayton Music. Once again, congratulations to him. He's awesome. Then Good English is three sisters. You got you got Selena Rosamond, and then Elizabeth Ross. I said her last name wrong. It's Selena Rasmussen. Yes, then I got it. Selena Rasmussen, Elizabeth Rasmussen, and Leslie Rasmussen. They are the three sisters forming Good English. Then we have Jay Glow. Shout out to him. Then we have Jay Vez, Jersey Boy, and Mo Beats. And then we have Jess Gallo, wonderful singer-songwriter from downtown Dayton. Joebin, another Final Four contestant. Then Mayfly, from Mayfly, we got, we got Jared Lacey on vocals, Adam Thompson on drums, then Beltole on bass, and Swamp Fox on the guitar. So I'm assuming that's not the last two, that's not their real names, I'm assuming. Okay, so we got them, then we got Maroney Lane, and yes, that is a first and last name. He's a singer-songwriter. He's the one that did the weight. And then we got Motel Beds. From the Motel Beds, we got PJ, we got Tommy, we got Derl, that's spelled D-E-R-L, then Ian and Todd. So they do the one name thing, like Madonna. So they're from the Motel Beds. Shout out to you guys. And now, from the Sixth Senses, they did Where'd He Go? Or Where'd It Go? I'm sorry about that. Where'd It Go? I really like that song. You got Jake Shaw, J.D. Hilliard, Ryan Allen Ferguson, and Corey Dixon from Sixth Senses. And now we also got Maria Harrison, a.k.a. Raya. So we got another a.k.a. going there. But she did Revelations, really good. Young artist. She's got a big future ahead of her. Rob Hankey and Robert Watson. He did the instrumental. Of course, Rob Hankey, he did Another Lonely Evil Night in Athens. Hopefully I got that title right. It was a long title. Then Robert Watson, he did the instrumental rock track, I Want to Spend My Life with Someone. Then we got Skaptimistic, who almost made it to the Final Four. Because we got from Skaptimistic, Trevor Cox, Josh Cox, which I assume is his brother, Ty Hyatt, Jake Walker, Micaiah Young, Dave Reason, and Seth Bowman, who was in the studio with us tonight. And now we also have the Repeating Arms. And from the Repeating Arms, it's Mac Nunnery, Harold Hensley, and Brian Spurk. Yes, he does upright bass and medallion. Yes, they did Diggum Graves in this tournament. And then Toxic Animal 1, because his real name is Charlie. He did the DJ music. It's a dance track called I think it was called Disappeared. I forgot the name of the title, but he was in the tournament. Really good DJ. He was the other resident EMD artist along with Curse of Cassandra. And last but not least, the heavy metal rock band Zool. Of course, Zool features Tim Warren, and then you got Brandon, then you got Brent, then you got Nick Crone, and Stu. So some of them do the single name thing also. They're Zool, they're from Dayton, Ohio. They're a staple at Blind Bob's. Listen, I got all of you. If I missed anyone, my bad, but I think I got every last one of you. So round of applause. All of you. I believe that's over 40 artists in all that I shout out just now. I'll do the count. All 40 of you, all 40 plus of you, you are OMVP, Ohio's most valuable pedestrian. Where's my music? Quick announcement before I get to my final message. I will be on next week. It's my spring finale where I'll make announcements about the future of Ohio's on Fire. That'll be next week, Wednesday, April 30th, 8 o'clock to 10 p.m. And it's my surprise show because I will have several surprises when it comes to people and maybe some old clips of mine that I'll play at random. So kind of like a hybrid of a new episode and greatest hits mixed in. I'll play some surprise music and I'll have some surprise call-ins. I'm working on it, and yes, I'll make some announcements of my future with this show because it's unofficial right now. Hopefully by this week, this weekend, or even close to the next showtime, it'll be official. I'll talk about my future of Ohio's on Fire. So with that, yes, I will be on next Wednesday night, 8 to 10. So do it. All right. With that, it's time for the final message, and I want to talk about corporate music in America. Yes, it's a bummer to have to talk about it, but I need to. There's something I got to get off my chest when it comes to corporate music. To me, there's two types of people. Well, I guess in every category, there's two types of people, and this deals with a lot of money. Now, there's people that do have a lot of money. They're good people. They do good things with their money, and they did it by doing the thing they love best. There's those people. Then there's rich people, straight up rich, greedy people. Corporate, and that's what we call corporate America. All they care about is the dollar bill. They care about how much money they can see. They want that brand new car. They don't care about you. They want a giant hot tub. They want to live in a mansion. They want all for them, and none, even that means none for you. And it's real. And those type of people have taken over the music business for the last 20 years. And I'll tell you why. I want to start from the beginning and how this all came about. I guess the beginning of the end was by a guy named Mr. Don Kirshner. And if you're not familiar with that man, he invented the group The Monkees and the Archies. It was back in the late 60s. So that's when this whole idea of corporate control of music started. But the Monkees was a group of British artists. Well, a lot of them could sing, but I don't think none of them knew how to play their own instruments. But what it was, he put these guys together. It was the first experiment of its kind. It was 4 young British men who were charming. They had a certain appeal to them. Someone that could compete with the Beatles. And of course, of course, you got Mickey Jones, and who else is all on the Monkees? I know that one guy. Davey, lead singer of, I forget, Davey something. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, you know the Monkees. Hey, we're the Monkees. Do. Now, to be fair, I mean, the music was good, but they had a lot of people backing them up. I know Neil Diamond, before he became a star, he wrote for them. And, of course, they had directors, the finest directors and writers in Hollywood writing their TV show. And so that was the first major attempt at corporate control of music, and the Monkees were really successful, but I think a lot of people that grew up in that era, they saw them as a corporate puppet, and they're currently not in the Hall of Fame, which I agree, they should be in the Hall of Fame. And I'll continue on. Yes, I got some controversial thoughts on all this, but yeah, so Mr. Don Kirshner, he also created the Archies. They were a cartoon band. It was, see, what he tried to do and what he did in live action, he tried to do in cartoon world. And he did it with the Archies. Of course, they did the hit song Sugar Sugar, Sugar, Honey, Honey. I like that song too. And it catered towards children. It was a way to get children to buy shirts and to so once again, it was another corporate experiment. And that kind of died down a little bit because in the 70s we had the rise of epic rock music, the ones that lasted 6-7 minutes long. It was a golden age of rock and roll in America. Really good. Aerosmith came along. Then you also had who else was really good? AC/DC came along in the late 70s. And then we had the Eagles. Yeah, one of the big bands of the 70s. Like, yeah, any idea that corporate America had on controlling music, it kind of got squashed for a while, thanks to the rise of 70s rock. But then disco came along. Yes, I don't know who. I guess someone had the idea for disco. It may have been Nile Rodgers. I know he was big on that. Although I like him personally, I don't care for disco except for maybe 3 songs. But disco ruled the world in the late 70s, and people got sick of it. It was commercially favorable to advertisements and fashion. Like, there was a corporate agenda behind that. And of course, it led to the famous 1979 Kill Disco rally over at the Chicago White Sox game. It canceled a whole baseball game. They destroyed disco albums. They rushed the field. If you ever seen video of that, you should check it out. They actually just canceled a whole Major League Baseball game just because they hated disco so much. And I love it. It was wonderful to watch. I wish to do that with Justin Bieber. They need to have a Justin Bieber demolition night at Dayton Dragon Field. I would host it in a heartbeat. So listen, sign me up for that if anyone wants to work on that. We'll destroy Justin Bieber. We'll destroy Keisha. We'll destroy who else? Miley Cyrus. We'll get a wrecking ball. We'll get a special wrecking ball for her. Destroy her music. And who else out there really sucks? Soulja Boy. He's lame, so we'll destroy his music. Yeah, so someone work on that for me. And what else do I want? Yes, in the 80s, the rise of corporate music came about again with Clive Davis. Of course, he's a big-time music executive. He kind of brought back the idea of image in music. It was the rise of music video during the 80s. An individual I think everyone should hate with a deep passion in the music business is Lou Pearlman. He destroyed music the way that it is today. Everything that's bad about music, you can thank him. He came about in the late 90s. First, he was an airplane retailer. He was always in sales. Like, he was always in a position to make money and to sell things to people. He was a big fat salesman. And he decided he was tired of the airplane business. He wanted to get into music. So he decided he started his own production group, and he discovered some people. He discovered NSYNC, he discovered Britney Spears, and he discovered the Backstreet Boys. And who else did he discover? He discovered 98 Degrees. He discovered Christina Aguilera. He would have his auditions down in Florida, and they were all young. Notice they were all young, and they were sexy. And they had a certain sound. Like, he had producers who were looking for work that he made connections with. And they created the boy band movement in the late 90s. And although for the longest time, boy band music ruled the world, and it made me sick to my stomach. Of course, luckily for me, there was Eminem. To back that up, there was Eminem, and who else was doing stuff? Third Eye Blind was around the late 90s. And of course, now Jennifer Lopez wasn't discovered by Lou Pearlman. She was probably the Latina explosion. I like her. I was okay with her. Of course, she wasn't a Lou Pearlman product. And of course, the controversy on him after a few of those years, he was taking a lot of money from these bands. He had signed himself as like a 5th member of the band. And of course, he did this to Backstreet Boys and to NSYNC. And I think to Britney Spears also. So they broke away from him. And they discovered he was a scumbag. They sued their freedom away from him. Oh yeah, Lou Pearlman did that show, Making of the Band, where O-Town. Yes, he discovered O-Town for that show, which was awful. That showed what music shouldn't be. And there's been some stories on him, which, not being there, I don't know if it's true, but apparently he had sexual encounters with some of these young talent that he would bring in. And he did finally get arrested back in 2005 for a Ponzi scheme when it dealt with the real estate business. Once again, it had to do with sales. He conned like $500 million off a lot of rich investors. So yeah, he was a scumbag in music, and he was a scumbag in the real estate business. He's now serving a 20-year prison sentence. I feel like that's not good enough somehow, because even though he is in jail and he's out of the music business, he did change the music business for the worse as we see it right now. He enabled the idea that sex sells over good quality artists. And that's all you hear now is manufactured music. All you hear is pre-manufactured pop music. That's it lacks that wall of sound. It lacks that personal touch. For an example, there's like this artist. She does I forget her name. She was like out in the she's that I'm drawing a blank. She was an African American singer, but she was in her late teens. But a 4-year-old guy wrote all of her music. That's what I'm trying to get at. See, these young teen artists, they don't write their own music. It's some creepy man behind the scenes that we don't know about. And that kicked the door in. And on the mainstream top 40 channels, that's all you hear now. You hear yes, you hear pop music. You hear yes, you got Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, then you had Selena Gomez, then you have there was a thing in rap music used to be really cool for a while, and that got lame also for a little bit. They auto-tuning. They did auto-tunes and crunk music, which got on my nerves, so that was filled with that. There's a few songs of Lil Wayne I like, but there's some that got on my nerves, so I'm not the hugest Lil Wayne fan based on the music that was out there. And let's see, let's manufactured corporate music is what sells today. It's what rule the world. You don't hear. It's very rare you hear rock music nowadays. You don't hear a lot of soul like you heard in the '60s. I'm hoping that there's going to be change to that real soon. And I think this tournament that we did tonight, the Dayton Indie Music Madness, I'm really proud of this tournament. All these artists are people that wrote their own lyrics, they made their own music, or they had a hand in making their music. And it feels good to listen to music like that. And that is what's missing on mainstream music today. Everything is the whole purpose of anything that airs is to make corporate America happy, to make the CEO of Clear Channel very happy. And there's no feedback. I talked about last week with Alex Woodall. They don't have to take criticism from anybody. They do what they want. They pretty much own terrestrial radio. The only way you can listen to the music you want is through the internet, which that's really awesome, but it's not good enough. Because there's people that traditionally just stick to the radio. They're at the mercy of what the corporate office they pick for you, and that's narrow-minded. And you hear what the big hit songs of the last 5 years. It doesn't even compare to the 90s, 80s, 70s, and 60s. And I don't see how that happened. The quality of music should be way better. Like, we improve in everything else. We're improving in technology. We're improving in sex toys. We're improving in bigger burgers. Why aren't we improving in the quality of music? It's really gone backwards. And there's no soul anymore. And Dayton Indie Music Madness is about being real and having soul. And let me tell you something. Tonight, after what happened tonight, there's going to be changing of the guard coming. I hope there's a national tournament on what I do. I hope other colleges adopt this idea of having bands in one big showcase. Someone wins a nice prize. Maybe everyone wins a prize if you have enough money to give them. We got to grow. We got to grow it like a plant. And real music by real people, it will take over mainstream music once again. The independents will take over. In fact, it's like I said, the plant is small because right now one of the biggest acts in the world is Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. He had the biggest hit in the summer last year with "Same Love," and also we have what's the other band? The guys that did Safe and Sound. Anyway, yeah, the Safe and Sound guys, and then we also did the ones that did the Lumineers. Yes, they did. I Belong to You, You Belong to Me, My Sweetheart, Lumineers. It's happening slowly. But I challenge every artist in America that believes in something, that believes in their music, be a star. Be the biggest star in the world. Let's free people from manufactured crap. Let's free the audience. Let's give the audience a choice. Let's make history. Just like the generation before us. We made real music that we talk about today. And let's continue ourselves. For all artists that's going to make new music here in Dayton, Ohio, if you're going to make new music this year, I want you to make a classic. Like, go 5 minutes long. Don't even worry about being 3 minutes long. Make something that sounds really good. It's 5-6 minutes long. Maybe even longer. Make a real message. So that's a request from a music fan to music artist that's looking to be a big star. That you'll really stand out if you just be yourself, man. That's what counts. Being yourself. And the radio world, all radio platforms, college radio, Sirius XM, they'll recognize the real deal. And we'll have a new wave of the music. We'll care about the music again like we did back in the golden era of the Beatles and Aerosmith and the Rolling Stones. I believe that will happen again, and it will happen in my lifetime. So, oh yeah, and one more thing. Listen, the American Idol thing, it's passé. It was a good idea when it first started, but now everyone's doing it. They have the voice. The thing about that is that you're not being your true self when you're on this show. You have to sing karaoke. All it is a giant karaoke contest. The ratings are down from what they were 10 years ago. It's not the cute baby anymore. It's an ugly old man that wants to drink and tell everyone what to do, boss everyone around. It's over. Do not go on these shows if you want to be a star, if you have true music. They're going to force you to change yourself on these shows. More than likely. More often than not, they have you change yourself. Maybe Kelly Clarkson and Phil Phillips are the only ones that perhaps stay true to themselves. But good for them. But that's not enough. That's only 2 people, man. I'm talking about the thousands of true artists that's in this country that are being ignored. Go for it. Do it. Do it. Yes, people are waving at me. They agree. So, once again, be a rock star. If you're a rock star, if you want something real bad in life, or even if you're not a rock star, if you want to be a radio DJ, you want to be a movie actor, you want to be a sports star, you want to be a lawyer, librarian, doctor, you want to be the best thing in the world at what you do, do it. And do it for yourself, not just for me. And it's really important. We live this life once. The only one tell you what you can and can't do. It doesn't matter how much money they have. Just do it. Be a rock star. Be the best in the world. So I am Daniel Diesel. I'll be back next Wednesday. Ohio. That's the way it is.